Oh, we're gonna have yes, thank you.
A continually Christmassy WAN show.
Yeah, it's still Christmas here at the Linus Media Group offices because we didn't get to spend Christmas with each other because we had a day off. Not because I thought that was a good idea, but because the laws and government regulations, and apparently that's how it has to work. So everyone wasn't at the office yesterday.
So we decided to continue our Christmas a little bit. That's why we have the lower third still all Christmassy, and I'm still wearing a Christmas sweater.
A Zelda Christmas sweater, no less.
Yup.
So we've got a lot of great topics for you guys today. Actually, we don't have a lot of great topics for you guys today. It's Christmas, and not a whole lot happened.
Nope.
The tech industry is gearing up for CES.
Pretty much.
Nothing got released this week, but we'll do our best. So actually, there are a couple big news items. So hackers versus gamers, with Dotcom being Santa coming to the rescue. Not that I'm saying anything about his weight. Sony screened the interview yesterday, Christmas Day. Nothing exploded yet. You had to think about that?
Well, you said yet.
Oh.
So I was like it's a good thing, but like we just hope that it's gonna stay up here.
So it's like the dance.
Hopefully it stays this way.
Yeah. Okay. What else we got?
Yeah. That's the same frame. Work has rumored maybe to have begun on a new Nintendo console. And we're gonna cover the top 10 videos from Linus Tech Tips in 2014.
And the top 10 videos may surprise you. We don't actually do top 10 lists very often.
We could also do the top 10 of Tech Wiki.
Yes, we could.
And the top 10 of Super Fun, which would be like the whole channel.
The whole channel, yeah. Doesn't have a lot of videos. Oh, we have a new Super Fun coming this week that is just going to blow your minds, I hope. Or something. Anyway.
Hopefully.
Intro time. And our sponsors today are lynda.com. Learn things online. And do a good job of it.
Yeah.
And Lootcrate. Get cool things online. And do a good job of it.
Well, you mainly get them in real life.
Yeah. Yes, but
some of them will be digital.
You sign up online.
Yes.
At lootcrate.com. And actually, for that matter, we should go back to Linda first. Because you actually learn in real life.
Yes.
But you do it online. It's like the internet.
And you sign up online.
It's the internet, man.
At lynda.com/WAN show.
And things that aren't the internet. Whoa! Holy crap! Linus Tech Tips is going to CES. How unusual! That's the first,
so surprising.
That's the first time this has ever happened.
This year. That year.
That year, yeah, next year. In 2015. So from January 5th to the 10th, you guys can expect to see a phantasmic amount of content from the International CES. And apparently I called the stream the wrong thing today.
I think you have to change it in dashboard. I don't think it actually changes if you do it there.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yay, Twitch.
I love Twitch. And we're sponsored this year by Phantom Glass. Their whole slogan is the last screen protector you'll ever need. And what I have to say about that is an outright lie. Because you probably won't keep your phone as long as you could keep your Phantom Glass screen protector. And then you will need another one for your new different phone.
The last type of screen protector you'll ever need.
That could be true. So go to store.phantomglass.com to check it out. Gorilla Glass screen covers.
Unless people make like force field screen protectors. That would be cool. I'd be okay with that, I think. It's completely ignored.
I'm changing the name of the broadcast, dang it. Alright, so what are we gonna kick things off with?
I don't know,
today?
man. Should we just like screw it all and do the top 10 Linus Tech Tips videos first?
Do you want to just do
Kinda.
that? just go for it. All right, so I'm letting you guys into my dashboard here.
Ooh.
Yeah, you guys are gonna see the dashboard. So hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Here we go. So I'm gonna copy this into. Hopefully this will work. I have no idea.
I think it'll work, but it might totally break. Oh, wow. That worked a lot better
Control
than I
click to
expected.
follow link. Look at that, just like that. All right. So what I want to do is I want to make these all big so that we can't see them all at the same time.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's
Totally not readable at all.
super broken. All right. Well, you'll be able to see the first two right off the bat.
There's still peanut butter and jam on my face. That's not going to make sense for a while, but there is.
All right, so the most watched videos of 2014 on Linus Tech Tips. Apparently, you guys, for all the people who commented on our RGB keyboard, review video about how RGB keyboards are stupid and pointless and no one should care about, RGB all over their keyboards. The number of people who watched our original CES 2014 coverage of Corsair's RGB keyboard was pretty amazing. This year we had... Is this going to open? What is it doing?
I don't know.
Why is my laptop broken? I hate you, laptop.
It's Christmas, everyone.
Oh, it's trying to open the dashboard. I see.
Oh.
So how am I going to open the actual videos as we go? All right, here we go. All right.
That's a loopy way to do it. But
Linus's screen, so it's going to play an ad. So 579,000 of you got to appreciate the video demoing functionality that to this day Corsair has not quite yet actually delivered. So some of these things work. That was a ripple effect that it's showing off there. Now, to be clear, guys, something that we didn't tell you guys at the time, but that we did know when we were filming this, is that keyboard is just a K70. It does not work at all. It doesn't even work as a keyboard anymore, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
All it is, the entire inside of its guts have been ripped out, and it's been replaced with the custom controller that Corsair was using to enable the lighting effects, that LED light board controller. And then it has I believe there are prototype Cherry MX RGB switches in it. And it's just got a pre-programmed, hard-coded series of patterns in it. It is not programmable at all. So when people were wondering, why did it take so long for this to be released? The answer is because it wasn't ready at all when they were first showing it off.
Oh, nice.
So there you go. There's our 10th most viewed video this year. 500,000 views on that one. Next up, we've got, if this page ever loads.
Everyone in chat's like, old logo!
Yeah, I know, right? Next up. This is one, you know what? This list is almost going to end up being like a my favorite
things
products of 2014, because you guys seem to mostly agree with me about this kind of stuff. This is the LG 34UM95, and this is the monitor, when the ad is done playing, that changed my mind about the importance of 4K for now. Because 4K will matter once the scaling gets figured out by the OS makers, and not just... Hey, look, I'm live on Twitch. There's a little notification there. And not just Apple. Apple's already kind of got it figured out as long as they scale up proportionally. So that's one of the rumored reasons why they went with 5K on the new iMac versus going with a 4K display. Because that way it's exactly 2 times the resolution of the previous 2560 by 1440 iMac. So there you go, or 4 times the number of pixels.
Yeah.
So this though was a really, really different monitor experience. In fact, it's been an amazing year for monitors.
Yes,
this
it has
year,
actually.
We've seen ultra wide, we've seen curved, we've seen G-Sync actually get productized, even though it was announced last year.
Yep.
I saw an article today. I think we're going to talk about this later on the show. That. Bloody hell, I forget who it is, but someone is sampling, or someone is shipping a monitor that will be updated to Freesync. Iiyama. Iiyama is shipping a monitor. It's a 28-inch 4K that will be updated to Freesync. So Freesync kinda came this year. It'll be a firmware update later, and you have to ship it in, so it didn't come this year. But it's been an incredible year for monitors, and this
really,
one...
Really good year.
really changed the way that I used my computer by allowing me to stretch things out horizontally with no bezel in the middle and enough vertical space that it's actually usable without requiring me to scale the DPI up or down in the OS. So very, very usable, very cool product, and yeah, I really, really liked that one. All right, what do we got next? Oh, this one. I was not expecting this video to take off the way that it did. So this is one that we actually made last year, not this year. But this year it got, let's just have a quick look here, 587,000 views, even though it's not even a new video. So this is high-speed RAM, is it worth it? And it was a test that we ran with DDR3 all the way from 1333 to 2400 megahertz. The video has a total of 800,000 views. Crazy. Where we determined that in games, no, it is not. And it looks like a lot of people have been sharing this video around. And you know what? It's funny because every time we bring this up, it feels like it's a bit of a new revelation to a lot of people. And that's why we keep flogging this dead horse. Like, that's why I did that apples to apples DDR3 versus DDR4 comparison.
Yeah.
Because it continues to not matter. In fact, DDR2 to DDR3, a lot of people who are newer to the enthusiast gaming PC game won't remember that that didn't matter either. In fact, you could go all the way back to DDR1 versus DDR2, and it didn't matter then either. Now, with that said, the technology has changed since then. If we'd had quad-core or 6-core or even 8-core Extreme Edition processors back when we made the transition from DDR1 to DDR2, we would have had a problem. So it's good that the RAM is making sure it stays far enough ahead of what we need. It just means that you shouldn't stress yourself out over, I have to have the latest DDR4.
Yeah. It's like not a good idea to upgrade just for RAM.
Wow, this one really blew me away. So this is actually the original. Now there's no way that this video is as good as some of the build guides that we did this year. This is our ultimate build a better $2,000 gaming and silent workstation PC. Actually, I think this was our second build guide that we ever did. Oh, that old intro.
I remember him making that in the garage.
Yep. I remember filming this in the garage.
Yeah.
Something some of you might not know is the way that this is set up is actually so that you can navigate our build. Okay, well, the main menu button is apparently broken, but the idea is that you're supposed to be able to navigate to the section that is most relevant to you at any given moment. Oh, man, do you remember? I think we still have that Twinkie box, don't we?
I don't know if it's here right now, but we do have it somewhere.
Yeah, I know it's somewhere.
I think the Twinkies are gone.
Oh, the Twinkies are gone. They were
really gross.
I threw those away this year, and we had the box for over a year now. Something that I didn't realize.
I thought Twinkies lasted forever.
Yes, I believed that, and the only place I ever heard that was like the classic joke. There's only two things that'll survive a nuclear holocaust:
cockroaches and Twinkies.
Cockroaches and Twinkies. Twinkies would not survive. They
wouldn't.
would go moldy, and they did. And they
How
did.
is that possibly a saying?
I don't understand.
I guess no one has actually kept them long enough because they ate them.
I guess so. They're disgusting.
They're really not good.
Yeah, they're super.
Unless you're that
gross.
dude from Zombieland, and then that's like the only thing you want. It was a really good movie.
This one blew me away as well. So you guys are probably going to be surprised by this. 830,000 views this year on the Parrot AR Drone 1 unboxing and overview. That video has a total of 2.4 million views in its lifetime. Oh, look at this. They've got an ad for the new
best possible
Bebop
commercial for this.
I know, right? Man, they did a good job of that. I am really looking forward to checking out the Bebop. They're going to be sending us one of those in the new year sometime.
Awesome.
So guys, we are definitely going to check that out for you because as cool as the AR Drone 1 is, it is nothing compared to what the Bebop is looking like.
Yeah.
I have no idea how this video exploded the way that it did. I didn't work particularly hard on it.
You look so much younger.
My wife filmed this for me in the backyard. This is from 2011. And it just, people keep watching it, even though the AR Drone V1 is like not interesting anymore.
No, yeah.
And not a good quadcopter by today's standards at all. I mean, it's fun to fly around, and I think we still have this one somewhere, but like, yeah, this stuff's a lot more advanced. now.
Even just looking at the controller the guy has in that trailer that came on before this video for the Bebop, so much better. That's my biggest complaint actually about those drones is the controller. So I'm excited to try out that Bebop one.
All right, so we've got a couple more ultimate guides. You guys just can't get enough of these ultimate build guides. One of them was one that I really expected to do well this year. That was the ultimate overkill build guide, where we built in the Corsair 900D.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one, it's a 42-minute video. It's by far our longest build guide, I believe. And man, that thing was a marathon filming session for me and Brandon. Like, that took forever. I still remember in the middle of this build guide realizing that we had already shot a significant chunk of it with me promising that there was going to be 5 radiators in it. And that was when I realized, like, halfway through the build, like, I just had this moment where I just put my head in my hands when I realized that we weren't going to fit 5 radiators in it because I hadn't done a test fit because we were in such a hurry to do it. And you can't actually have 2 radiators in the basement and one in the front by default. So a couple trips to Home Depot later, I figured out how I was going to come through on that commitment.
Which ended up being totally awesome.
And it ended up being totally awesome. But man, it was a nightmare. So there you go. Mid-plate mounted radiator. 2 in the bottom, 1 in the top, 1 in the back, 1 in the mid. Empty space in the front because that was where that radiator was supposed to be.
So awesome.
Oh, I was so stressed. So that one clocked in at 878,000 views this year. And the Ultimate Build-A-Better $1,500 PC. This is the original Ultimate Build Guide. And it continues to get more views than most of the rest of the build guides, with only the 4K and Overkill one exceeding it. This one was actually, okay, you guys are getting a lot of behind the scenes here. This one was a nightmare for its own completely different set of reasons. So this is back when we were filming in the garage, and before we even had a procedure for these at all. So just to give you guys some idea what's going on, I'm standing on a case box.
Yeah.
In order to have enough height above our non-height adjustable table. We have height adjustable tables now. That makes a big difference.
And we have boxes that you're supposed to stand on.
Yeah.
Not case boxes.
Like wooden boxes. They're called Apple boxes. Okay. Something that had not occurred to me yet at this stage in the game was that I should probably assemble our build guide computers before I do a build guide. So nowadays, I actually build the whole thing, log everything, write a script, and then we film it. And the filming process, we can do these in like a day now. This one, nightmare. It wasn't until I got to the radiator installation. So I've got the motherboard in, power supply in, we're in pretty good shape, we're humming along. It wasn't until I got to the radiator installation that I realized that our H100i wasn't going to fit in the case. Now, the case has space for it. So the compatibility listing that I found said, yes, it works. And it does. But you have to do it this completely different, janky way that if I had been aware that that was how it was going to go down, I would have done it differently. Let's see if I can find the... oh, right, we have a table of contents.
Yes.
Could just use the
Teaching
table
people how to use it, and then you don't use it.
Okay, power supply, front, cooling. Here we go. So here's... Okay, look at my face. Do I look like I was having a good time for the little while prior to this shot? It was
not happy, Linus.
Not good. It was bad news bears. So the way that we eventually ended up doing it was mounting it above the top of the case, because otherwise there's not enough clearance inside.
Yeah.
So you'll see. Yeah, so here you go. This is how you're supposed to do it in this case. I was like, really? You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. But at this point, we're almost all the way through filming the build guide.
You can see just how unimpressed you were right there. After you put it down and just your face, okay, cool, we're done. I don't know what you actually said, but just not stoked. That was fantastic.
And these ones continue to get a lot of views. And you know what? The old ones. So this one's 41 minutes long. Almost as long as Ultimate, even though it's just a pretty basic machine. people still watch these and they still have a lot of value just because we showed a lot of the nitty-gritty details that we go through pretty quickly now. Like, you know, we talk about how, oh, it's okay to have the polarity reversed on your front panel switches. It doesn't really matter. It's no big deal. Yeah. Like, we went into all those little details. So that one delivered 833,000 views this year, which leads us into where this list gets a little bit random and stupid. Our third most popular video this year is one that was actually originally uploaded way back in December of 2011. And the story behind this one is...
Wait, what?
2011.
I've been working here for longer than I thought.
This video was done because one of the product managers at NCIX, when I worked there at the time, told me that I had to, because she had already promised to the vendor that I was going to do an unboxing of this thing. So Arctic Cooling, you notice the similarity between Arctic Hobby and Arctic Cooling in the logos? Yeah. Arctic Cooling branched out into remote control crap. And so they sent an excavator for me to unbox on the show, and I was just like, fine. Fine. Okay, if you already committed it, then fine, I'll do it. And it turned out they were pretty cool, which helps a lot.
Yep.
But this video generated, let's have a look here. So it's got 2.89 million views total. No one even likes it. Like, that's what blows me away about this. Like, 945 dislikes to 3,000 likes. No one even likes the video, and yet they watch it. So this year, that one generated 1.1 million views, more than almost anything that we actually produced this year.
So really, we just need to film more things about remote-controlled, like, excavators and stuff.
Unbelievable. Now, number 2 on the list, so we're almost at the end. Number 2 on the list is actually something, finally, that we legitimately filmed this year, worked really hard on, and is a freaking awesome video. This is one of my favorites of all the build guides we've ever done, the Ultimate 4K Build Guide. 1.367 million views this year with 30,000 likes. See, this is more like the kinds of numbers for a video that's actually good.
Yeah.
That people legitimately wanted to watch and enjoyed. And this is where we really managed to cut things down on the build guide, so it's only 25 minutes long, even though it's still a full build guide, and it's got like lots of crazy editing and stuff in it. And yeah, this one was a lot of fun. Which brings us to our last one, weighing in at a massive 1.8 million views, a full 500,000 views more than anything else. The Arctic Cooling Fire Truck unboxing, which has a total of 3.5 million views overall. And this was the same thing as that stupid excavator. It's a fire truck, and I was told I had to do it because it was already promised.
What happened to the tank and the boat?
The tank and the boat did okay. But
for some reason, the fire truck and the excavator just took off?
Yeah, those ones just took off. And you know what? Actually, did you unbox the fire truck with me?
All of them.
Yeah. Do you remember the problem we had with the fire truck? Where we couldn't get it to squirt water?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we finally... I
don't remember what we did.
We did some janky repair to it.
Yeah.
And then we finally got it to squirt. It ended up being like the most suggestive thing ever when we did finally get it working. Yeah. Oh, am I about to do it?
Or is this when we figure out it doesn't work?
This might be when we figure out it doesn't work.
Because we did everything live before. Trying to shoot me.
Here we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That POV of the squirting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. So there you go. There's some pretty unexpected stuff on the top video list of 2014 here. It's 2014, right?
Yes.
Yes, thank goodness.
It is soon to be 2015, but then we won't have anything on the video list. For very long. We release a video every day, and then there's CES, so we'll have a lot of stuff really quickly.
It really does raise the question, why do we even bother trying to make good videos when we can just unbox fire trucks, and apparently that's all people want to see.
That's what people really want to see anyways. Oh dear.
They want to see that fire engine.
Not the
squirt.
like to dislike ratio though.
Yeah. No one actually likes it, but they watch it anyway somehow.
People in Twitch chat were like 3,000 is no one, and then you go to your 4K build guide, it's like 25K. Like, actually, yes.
And the thing about the no one is that most of those 3,000 likes would have been right when that video was uploaded from the subscribers.
Yeah.
The subscribers, the guys that watch in the first couple days, that's where all the interaction comes from. Like the loyal viewers who are like ready for the new video and they like it, they leave a comment, all that good stuff that helps us out a lot. That's when that happens. It's gotten almost no likes since it was first uploaded.
Yeah.
So it just gets dislikes and views, which I guess is fine or something.
Yeah.
All right. So our next topic for today, I hope that was as fun for you guys as it was for me. I love
think people seem to like it in the chat and stuff.
reminiscing
So I
about
think
that
that
stuff.
worked out. Yeah.
I mean, the amount of crap that goes on behind the scenes here, guys, let me tell you, like the amount of times that stuff just doesn't work. Like
The amount of peanut butter and jelly that's in my hair right now.
Okay, yeah. Yes. I managed to get all the peanut butter and jelly off me.
I didn't think of checking my hair for whatever reason.
If you guys follow us on Twitter and Instagram, there's some pretty good pictures of some jelly and us. Don't worry, we're clothed. The nudity happens.
They probably
later.
want it. I'm not going to go there. Anyways.
Okay, speaking of things not working behind the scenes, one of the biggest headaches that I had this entire year was doing that triple curved surround setup. Like,
Oh, man. Yeah.
I had some people leave some pretty critical comments about how I split that out into 2 videos. And my response to that would be the amount of work that went into
Insanity.
each of those individual videos is more than anything but probably a build guide or anything of that
And
caliber.
even then, it would be like matching the build guides, not necessarily below them.
It was a lot of work because I had to get the rig working at all. And that was a freaking miracle because I needed to use like a DisplayPort hub, and then I needed to like get that weird resolution actually working at all. Needed to verify that the machine was going to be able to drive that resolution at all before we started. I mean, okay, I didn't tell you about this, but I had it was a pretty good rig. Like it was like a GTX 980 or something like that. Yes, it was a GTX 980. And I had Shadow of Mordor running, and it was running at like 9 FPS. And that game's not that demanding.
No, it's not.
So I realized what happened. I was on a 4K display, and it was running at 200%.
Oh, yeah.
It has built-in super sampling. So
Which
it was
is actually
running
pretty cool.
It was running at 8K.
Yeah.
So that's what can happen when you do that kind of thing. Like when you completely overload a graphics card to the point where just communication internally breaks down, it can just turn into like a crap show.
Just mush, yeah.
Just completely not working. So I was worried that might happen. So that was a whole process there. And part 2 was when I had the worst headache I've had this entire year. I mean, worse than when we lost one of our editors for 2 months to a wrist injury, worse than when people took a bunch of vacation during that time and we just about died, worse than when I was having conference calls with some of our sponsors at the end of that quarter when we had completely missed a bunch of our targets and like a bunch of the things that we committed. Like, we're going to, do a sponsor spot here and integration there, and we just like completely missed a bunch of stuff. Trying to get those games working at that res. Surround is hard. Okay? Weird aspect ratios are hard. You put those 2 things together and you have like a list of games that you're determined to get working, and just
It was bad. He had quite a few, didn't leave the office till 3 a.m. days.
Nick came down to talk to me about something and kind of was talking to me, and then he just kind of left. And the next week I actually talked to him about this, and he was just like, yeah, I wanted to talk to you about this, but you were working on that surround thing. And I was like, yeah, sorry, was I rude? He's like, it's okay, bro.
Yeah, that was an interesting time.
I hope I wasn't snippish about it. He's like, it's okay, bro.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's all right. I think, everyone understands. There's bad days. I'm trying to remember what things I worked on that were really catastrophic. The thing that I'm working on right now was pretty catastrophic for a while.
Oh, you know what was a really good one for you? When we had to change our cooling test bench twice in a month.
Oh.
And you had to completely retest our entire back catalog of coolers once, and then we had to change it again. So due to hardware failures and or needing that hardware for some other purpose, we had to tear apart the cooling test bench. And the problem with that is that when you tear apart a cooling test bench, all of your previous results are invalidated because you're testing in a closed environment. So if you change that motherboard or you change that GPU,
something will change.
All the previous results are different. And you can't just go, oh, well, we were running at this clock speed and this voltage, because every motherboard is going to undervolt or overvolt by completely impossible to predict amount.
Yeah. That was frustrating. And then we had I had Excel crash on me and just lose everything from days worth of work.
That's happened multiple times
A couple times this year. There was more than once where I saved it while it was crashing, I whipped my phone out real quick and took a picture of the screen, and then was able to rebuild all my data that way. Data loss was a pretty big issue. Yeah. We've had problems with the server. The server room smoked.
Yeah, should we just admit it? We still don't know what smoked.
Everything works! Everything, and nothing has damage on it.
We thought it was the printer, but since that incident, we have printed, scanned, with that all-in-one unit, and then my assumption was actually that it was one of the security systems.
Yeah.
And then the other day, Nick was like, blah, 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 something, something. He mentioned something about monitoring. And I was like, oh, it still works? Because I had never really checked with him. I kind of thought, well, that's the only thing left in the room, and I don't monitor it because I assigned it to someone and then forgot about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it works. And so I was just like,
everything works.
So what was smoking?
There's billowing smoke coming out of that room.
Yeah, that room and the next room.
Yeah.
And we even tore apart the server a little while ago to add a PCIe SSD as a cache for the editors.
Yeah.
And everything's working, even all the fans. Nothing released magic blue dust. I did a visual inspection of the motherboard. We legit have the UPS works. We have no idea what's broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something died.
Oh, in Forum, we moved a server, and then we moved back. We moved server again, and then we moved back, and then we moved server again, and then we moved somewhere else.
Yeah, that was all within the span of 2 weeks, right? Yeah. So every server migration is an all-nighter for him. By default, and usually Mr. Wizard as well.
Yes, yeah, and Mr. Wizard. And then Mr. Wizard's knows his Amazon stuff, and I don't know any of that, so I can't even really help him. And then we were like, let's move to Amazon the day before the campaign. Yeah. So Mr. Wizard's like,
yeah, the crowdfunding campaign.
Okay.
Because we didn't want the site to go down during that, and we figured there's a good chance it would, so we beefed the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Or so we thought.
And then
how many times this year did we lose the raid array?
Oh, no.
In the main server. Okay. Probably my second biggest headache. I was so mad. And I wasn't mad at you. And I wasn't mad at me. I was just mad. Do you remember the time that halfway through a day, you guys, I forget what, I think I contacted the office. And I was at NCIX filming. And I found out, it's halfway through the day, I find out at this time that the file server hasn't been up all day. And I'm like, why didn't you call me? And Luke's like, no, I'm working on it. I'm like, what's it doing? And he's like, oh, it goes to a post splash screen, and then it doesn't make it any further. I'm like, pull out those 2 drives. And he's like, what? How is that going to help? I'm like, pull out those drives. He's like, what? So he tries it. He pulls it out. Boots up just like that. I'm like, why didn't you call me? You're not going to tell me if the entire company is shut down for half of a day. And he's like, well, you shouldn't have drives in a server that make it not post.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, yeah, but I know how it works. You just have to pull out those 2 drives, let it post, and pop them back in. He's like, that's stupid.
Yes, it is.
So basically, it's caused by an incompatibility between the 2 drives that I was using as a RAID 1 backup of the OS drive. So not actually even involved in the main RAID 6 array. But it's a compatibility between those drives and that RAID controller and that motherboard specifically. The drives work on the motherboard with a different RAID controller. The drives work on the RAID controller on a different motherboard. But all 3 of them together form a trifecta of fail and won't post. And so we lost half a day of productivity from the entire company because, and I was like, next time the company is not operating, call me.
In my defense, I wasn't told at the beginning of the day. I didn't know until later on. But yes.
Which is a whole other set of issues. This is why I wasn't mad at anyone specifically. I was just mad at everyone and everything.
This is true. Should we keep talking about Linus Tech Tip stuff, or should we take a break for this and then go back to it?
Yeah, let's take a break.
I think
Can you
there's
send that to
actually
me?
more stuff too. I did. It's in the email thread for the offline doc.
Okay, got it. Oh.
No. Email thread.
Offline.
It doesn't say his thing.
All right. So speaking of the Linus Tech Tips crowdfunding campaign, we weren't really expecting anyone to actually buy a lot of the tiers, but our largest contributor of all time, Linus Forsell from Sweden,
By like a significant amount.
By a lot, actually. And a lot of you probably know him from the forum. Great contributor there. Actually did a game giveaway for December.
Huge game giveaway. He
Huge
did the
game
Chrome
giveaway.
add-on. This is not actually related to Linus Tech Tips, but when I did my like completely on the side charity stream thing, he helped out a lot with that, which was pretty cool.
Yep, totally awesome guy. So he actually bought the custom callout on the WAN show. So we are going to be doing it up. And I don't know if he actually expects me to try to do this Swedish bit.
You can go for it. We're not going to do it right. I'm sorry, anyone from Sweden, but
I don't know, something about Allah and God. I don't know if that's really where I want to go on this show.
Oh,
No, it's not. It's not about. It's
no.
good. It's Swedish. Okay,
you
you
can
know what?
say it in the English translation. Let's go with that.
There we go. First and foremost, allow me to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year.
There we go.
With the tormenting of Linus and or Luke out of the way, allow me to bring you all a short message courtesy of the Tipstarter 2014 campaign. Firstly, I hope you're enjoying the show. I'm pretty sure that I am, even though I'm writing this from the past. Woo! I'm allowed to be awesome like that sometimes. Second, I would like to take this chance to congratulate Linus, Luke, and the rest of their growing staff for their tremendous efforts this year. From an outsider's perspective, it can sometimes be hard to realize how much hard work goes into producing content. For many, it might be hard to put into perspective. I hope, though, that you and your members know that there are people out there that can relate, and for us, you guys and the hard work you put into every single production are a true source of inspiration. It's incredible to see how every single day, without fail, there is a new, well-produced, and often very interesting. I hope he means it's often very interesting, and whenever it's not, it's supremely interesting video to enjoy. Add to that the constant striving for increased production values, and one's admiration can quickly escalate out of control. Well, I've taken enough of everyone's valuable time, so I'll cut this short. LMG, keep up the good work, and I wish you all an even more successful 2015. Thank you. Best wishes, Linus Forsell. I had gone out of my way not to read it entirely until I could read it on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm really touched. And I mean, okay, so we didn't intend for people to buy a lot of the tiers, and we didn't really intend for anyone to buy this, but he did.
He did anyways.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to throw in not only the call out on the WAN show, but one of the stupid tiers that was like way too expensive was to name one of the rooms in the new Linus Tech Tips office. So unless Linus... It's so weird because I don't know a lot of Linuses. Unless,
you can call him Forsell.
Yeah.
Just call him his last name.
No, I'll just call him Linus. It's okay. He can be a Linus too. Right. He earned it. So unless Linus tells me otherwise, we're actually planning to have like a small library within the new office where people can go to quietly write away from their desks. We'll have like kind of couches.
So you don't have other people distracting you
and
whatnot.
And so unless he wants to name something else, that'll be the Linus Forsell library at the Linus Media Group office. So we'll put up a nice little like plaque and stuff like that. So thank you very much to him and everyone else who actually contributed towards the new office campaign. We raised over $30,000, which is unbelievable. I mean, that's going to contribute a huge chunk of what it's going to cost us to do the renovations on this place and be able to move in smoothly. So thank you so much to everyone. Oh yeah, and another thing that I wanted to throw in for Linus, if he's watching, is I know you're working on a project. I don't know how secret it is, so I'm not going to say anything about it, but I've had a look at some of the early assets. And if you'd like to, when it's ready for you to talk about it, we'd love for you to come on the show and talk about it, because that was another tier that we didn't really intend for anyone to buy. An appearance on the WAN show, so we'd like to offer that to you as well. Have you come on and talk about it, because it looks like it's going to be really cool.
So, Linus Forsell, I've got your PM thread on the forum, and I'll add this Linus into that as well or something, and we can work on figuring all the room and everything out.
All right, so we're only halfway through the show, and we haven't actually done any topics yet.
It's the last show of the year, though. I think it's probably fine.
We should do it. There's a couple big ones. There's a couple really big ones that I want to hit. So Jaggy Snake 57 posted this on the forum. Sony screened the interview on Christmas Day, and you know what? I have got to hand it to Sony. I mean, it's no excuse, but I was pretty pissy when we were talking about this on the show last week, and I was super cranky, and a big part of that was I was just really upset about Sony letting terrorists win. Yeah. Because no matter what, the information that's out there is leaked. It's done.
Yeah, it's over.
It's done. It's over.
There's literally nothing you can do.
Whatever aid you will get from governmental agencies, whether it be U.S. or Japanese or whoever else is going to jump into Sony's aid, whatever's going to happen, the information is leaked. It's done. So giving in to the terrorist threat of effectively... I mean, they threatened to blow up theaters over screening this movie, was a huge mistake, because it just demonstrated that they had you where they wanted you. And so Sony came out and said, nope, we are authorizing screenings of the interview on Christmas Day. It's been released on YouTube, so Google stepped up and supported this initiative so that the movie can be seen. I'm not going to watch it, personally. I'm
not even that interested. I just wanted to make sure it came out.
I already watched the leaked Kim Jong-un death scene. Did you see it?
It looks terrible.
It's just, his head explodes in the cheesiest possible fashion, and, it's just... It looked very B-movie. Very B-movie.
Honestly, I've heard some people... mainly forum members and stuff say that it's a better than average kind of thing,
doofusy comedy.
Yeah. So that's cool. It never really interested me that much from the beginning. I just wanted to make sure that actually did get released.
Yeah.
Because
so
I think that's important.
Go Sony! You guys did the right thing. I mean, I still have no idea what the ongoing impact of Sony's business is going to be.
Because of spoilers.
Oh, come on. It's a spoiler that Kim Jong-un dies?
It's in the trailer.
Actually, I don't think it is in the trailer. There are scenes from there's clips from his death scene in the trailer. But all it shows is him on a helicopter. We don't know that he dies there until later. Who cares?
Now there's even a worse spoiler.
The entire controversy.
Yeah, but now people know what the situation is. So now it's not even maybe maybe he makes it out and it gets delayed or anything. It's nope, that's it.
The entire controversy was that Kim Jong-un dies in the movie.
I know, but now
that's
I know the exact
why
same
they got
position.
hacked. You know what? I am sorry for nothing.
Yeah, but there's a difference between Kim Jong-un dies and Kim Jong-un dies in this exact specific situation. In this way.
Okay, I shouldn't say I'm sorry for nothing. I did want to address that the misguided play on words during our Dollar Shave Club thing last week, where I was like, you could have a Dollar Slave Club, you could have a slave delivered every week. That was dumb. I was just like, what rhymes with Dollar Shave Club? And the first thing that popped into my head was that. And I probably could have gone with Brave Club. Actually, that might not be any better depending on the context. Let's just go ahead and move on to our next topic. So, North Korea's internet outage, there actually doesn't appear to be a whole lot of concrete information on any of this. This was posted by
The internet
Real...
has decided that it was the States.
Yeah. I mean, that was the rumor. This was posted
The
by
internet has decided.
Real Filbert on the forum, but basically there was an internet outage for 10 hours on Monday. Could have been anyone. So, I don't know. Is there anything else that we can really talk? So it's the worst... Experts called it the worst North Korean network failure in years. I mean, we're talking about 1,024 official actual IPv4 addresses that the country has. So there wasn't a whole lot of internet connectivity there.
Anyways,
yeah.
There's signs that are consistent with DDoS style attacks on routers. They're probably running like WRT 54Gs, so I don't know. It's probably, I don't know.
I mean, there was just to give you guys some idea, actually, you should check this out if you haven't already. Great article on The Verge. Sophie Schmidt, so Eric Schmidt, one of Google's founders' daughters, actually had a chance to visit North Korea not that long ago and basically described the country as kind of like a creepy Truman Show-like atmosphere. Here, the articles from The Verge. I'm still mad at them about the whole Gamergate thing, but I'm still going to show their site here because it's a good article. But basically, she talked about how something like a tablet connected to the internet would be the equivalent of, like, you know, the main event at an event like CES here in the West. Like, whatever the hottest new technology is like showing off internet connectivity. She talks about walking around in a building where people are working and saying nothing and not even looking up as people walk past, and just how eerie the experience was. It's definitely worth a read, because I mean it's very easy for us here in nations where we have a lot more freedom than they do there to just kind of take for granted being allowed to open your mouth and say something. Yeah, very, very interesting.
Oh, watching stuff like Vice docs and stuff like that on certain countries is just, I don't know. Could have been worse.
Okay, I had another one that I wanted to jump to from there.
Sony hackers?
Yeah, let's do...
Hackers versus gamers versus other hackers
Yeah.
versus Kim.com versus...
Posted by XTankSlayerX on the forum, or just Tank Slayer, I think it might be. Original article here is from Polygon, although there's a lot of different coverage of this. And basically, both PlayStation Network and Xbox Live were down. So gamers who had just gotten brand new PlayStation 4s and brand new Xbox Ones were not... Oh, I can post it. Sorry. I'm ready. Were not able to enjoy their brand new consoles. We had people saying that, you know, they weren't even able to update... Oops, I'm on the wrong page now. Derp. People saying that they weren't even able to update their console, so they couldn't even play games offline. Just as a gigantic sort of, well, this.
Yeah.
Just as a gigantic this is what it appeared to be. So there's, I think it was, Lizard Squad took credit for it, and then... Hacker's Finest Squad kind of jumped in and something, and basically the gist of it was they said, well, no, we're not looking to disrupt the actual economy. If we did, we would have, you know, taken down the New York Stock Exchange or something like that. We just wanted to send a message to Sony and Microsoft about their digital security or something. You know, they probably wouldn't need it if it wasn't for like douche canoes shutting down their services on purpose for no reason. Because the reality of it is, if you hit something hard enough, it will go down no matter what it is. That's how this works. There's no such thing as a site that is completely impenetrable to an online attack.
Google Docs was down today.
Yeah, Google Docs was down for hours today.
I don't know what it was. It probably wasn't an attack, but like stuff goes down. It happens.
Anyway, so yeah, there's a whole thing, blah blah blah. Two groups.
Finest Squad stepped up. That's the other group. They're trying to like stop them or something.
Yeah. So sorry. So Lizard Squad took credit for it. something next generation Grinch. Finest Squad emerged saying it would stop the group. Back and forth. Both groups declaimed victory through doxing, hacked Twitter accounts and websites, even an arrest. Finest Squad provided a link to a press release from the sheriff's office about the arrest of a 17-year-old in Canada in connection with the school swatting in September. Finest Squad began releasing names and photographs. It's like, okay, doxing is never right and never cool, no matter who it is, just to be clear. For those of you who don't know what doxing is, that's basically fishing out the details of someone online and then publishing them somewhere extremely public like Reddit or Twitter for everyone to see. It's not cool. No one deserves that. That's not okay. Yeah. So anyway, from there, Kim.com, of all people, stepped up to the plate and
really wanted to play Destiny with his friends.
I give Kim.com a lot more credit for shrewdness than that. I suspect it had less to do with wanting to play Destiny with his buddies and more to do with wanting
I
his
know,
name
it's just funny that he even said that. Yeah.
The guy is incredibly clever. We gotta give him that. He knows how to play the media like almost no one else.
Yeah. He does a really good job.
Basically, Kim.com came out and said, I have offered all the members of the hacker group, I think it was about 3,000 members.
He offered them, and then they said, we have 3,000 lizards.
Yeah.
So who knows if they actually have 3,000 members. They probably just want 3,000 accounts.
Yep, so he offered them 3,000 free Mega accounts. I think each of
Mega
them...
management still has to approve it.
Yes.
It's for, I think, 1 year, but then if they leave PlayStation and Xbox alone for that 1 year, they get upgraded to lifetime of free Mega Premium, and then basically said, look, as soon as any attacks on these networks show up, I'm taking it away. I mean, on the one hand, that's a pretty nice Merry Christmas gesture from the Mega team and Kim.com kind of stepping up to make that happen. On the flip side, once again, you can't negotiate with, these groups can call themselves whatever they want, but... No, I think they're quite literally terrorists. If you read some of the stuff that they've been putting out there, these are tweets from Lizard Squad. Why DDoS the White House when you can blow it up? Hashtag Lizard Squad. The FBI failed. Press switch to blow them all up. If we threaten Barack Obama, will you try harder? FBI. Do a quick scan of the White House for explosives then. Pretty sure that's all terrorism stuff.
Oh yeah, I've got people pointing out in Twitch that Lizard Squad did an interview with BBC 3 hours ago. I was aware of that. I haven't watched it, haven't had a chance. Quite frankly, I don't know if I should. I don't even know if we should be talking about it.
Probably not.
So there. Tell you what, why don't we make this our sign-off and maybe our challenge to any other media outlets. We're not going to talk about Lizard Squad or anything they do anymore. Because if we all stop talking about it, then... well, they'll probably just try harder to get our attention until eventually, in theory, they go away.
Probably. So...
applying, pet training rules.
We should give them chocolates.
Mega chocolates. Oh, we should probably do our sponsor spots.
I'm excited.
Yeah, our first sponsor this week is lynda.com, and at some point we're going to fix that lower third because they offer not a 7-day free trial, but a 10-day free trial.
10 days.
10 days! Lynda.com! Monster trucks! I really do wonder if anyone over at lynda.com
10 day
got these pictures of the Lynda mascot driving monster trucks and was just like, what?
Why is this happening?
I'm gonna see if I can find... have we actually shown any of those?
I don't think we did on this stream. I think we might have in the after party of whatever week that was.
Oh, this is my favorite one anyway. I love it.
That's
so
awesome.
this is from our last lynda.com spot where we were talking about what if the Lynda mascot drove a monster truck, and then whoever did this, who was this, Brandon P, I guess, decorated the truck in WAN logos and
ridiculous.
Anyway, lynda.com is the place online for a very minimal monthly subscription to learn cool new skills, whether it's enjoying your hobby more, like digital photography, or whether it's something that you legitimately want to turn into a job, like video editing or coding. Coding is a perfect example of something on lynda.com that can legit turn into job skills that you use every day. We have, I think it's 3 members here at Linus Media Group that use their lynda.com skills.
At least 3.
At least 3.
Yeah.
And
My mom does too.
Really?
She's not really a part of it. She does now.
I didn't know that.
She used our thing. And
Did she
everything.
really?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Every once in a while she'll call me and be like, well, I want to sign up for this service, but like, I don't know what your URL is anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, you can just click on it if you go to that box on the forum. I'm not even just doing this so you guys know where to go. But like, yeah, she signed up for Linda.com.
That's awesome.
And every once in a while she gets confused by the Amazon tag.
You gotta tell me what's she learning on lynda.com.
Oh, this is gonna be super bad because I forgot.
Okay, find out.
But she went from like homework stuff,
Yeah.
like working at home kind of stuff. Now she's trying to get desk jobs. So I think she might be refreshing on like English skills and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Because I pushed her onto online education stuff.
Right.
So yeah.
So here you go. So they add new courses every week from industry experts, and there you go. lynda.com/WAN show. Try it out for free, and if you don't like it, then you don't have to do it anymore.
Hi, Mom.
All right, we've got our... Oh, yes, CES is going to be a blast this year. We've actually got something really special planned that is going to reinforce the awesomeness of our sponsor, Phantom Glass. I am so stoked on that. It's going to be super fun. So you can watch all our coverage of the show at CES 2015 from January 5th to the 10th. We are going to be bringing you guys a whack ton of content. He's going to be all over the virtual reality stuff. I'm going to be all over the new Parrot drone.
Yep.
He is going to be all over something, and I'm going to be all over the other stuff. I've got appointments with like Samsung, Sony, LG, Asus, MSI, Gigabyte, like all the usual suspects. We're going to be all over that stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Corsair, I think once again, I have just like skeeved my way into the very first appointment for Corsair of CES. I did the same thing last year, and I probably shouldn't tell this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. So my Corsair contact was like, yeah, you took this spot right away. And I was like, yeah, I want to make sure that I'm first with whatever you guys are showing off. And they had some cool stuff last year. They had the 760T, and they had that little mini case. I forget, 230T, I think it's called.
That's one of them.
Yeah, they had the 230T there for sure. And anyway, so he's like, yeah, one of my other media contacts asked me about this spot. I said it was taken. And the guy was like, it's Linus got it. Linus got it, didn't he? And I was just like...
You gotta get that like, they used it in StarCraft a lot. That little, like, shrug meme thing. Like...
So yeah, we're going to have lots of good stuff. And that is going to be brought to you mostly by our gold sponsor, Phantom Glass. So those guys have been a big part of why we're able to take the whole team to CES this year and bring you guys better content than ever before from the show. And then our last sponsor today... we have another Lootcrate! So offer code Linus to save 10%. For those of you who didn't tune into After Party last week, where we actually discovered more stuff in the Lootcrate that we didn't realize.
Like a lot more.
Like the entire box unfolded to become like a fight scene for like our fighting dudes.
Fighty scene thing.
Yeah, like pretty cool. So I think there are actually some talking points for this.
Well, here, you do that and I'll get into it.
You get to open it?
Yeah, dude.
Hate you.
Correct.
So, to maintain transparency, you must state that you received the crate for free from Lootcrate. Not that they actually cost that much. It's $13.37. We should unbox the December anniversary crate and show off what's inside.
There's Groot socks.
No way.
Yeah.
You have to show the other side. I am Groot.
That's awesome.
I finally saw that not that long ago, actually. And
Really?
our next Fast as Possible actually has a Guardians of the Galaxy joke in it, even. So these would go perfectly with that. All right, what else we got?
I don't know what these are actually called, but these are super popular. Pop Heroes. Yeah.
Okay, I think these were like exclusive or something.
So this is a Joker Batman.
Yeah,
like,
so this
hybrid
is
thing.
Batman cosplaying as the Joker.
Yeah.
That's the idea. We actually, another thing that we had people showing us on Twitter last week when we were going through the Loot Crate and discovering it had more than we thought, was their collections of Loot Crate swag that they accumulated over the course of like a year.
Yeah,
And
that was pretty cool.
And when you kind of go, and when you do the math and you go, okay, so that was like $150 plus a little bit more. It's like not bad,
yeah.
actually. So there you go. I'll give you guys a better look at the Batman Joker. I can't imagine Batman would actually cosplay as Joker, unless it's Joker cosplaying as Batman.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
The Joker Batman. No, it is a Batman.
Yeah, that's true. was gonna say it starts with Joker.
And the back is like, yeah, that face just about sort of is as confusing as this figurine is. What else we got?
So the next thing is Tetris stickers. They're officially from Tetris, which I think is interesting. Like they're
cool.
actually an officially Tetris branded thing.
147.
147 Tetraminos, I think is what they're called.
Okay, I'm snagging this one.
And then, okay. Goddamn. I wanted that one. They show examples.
Language.
They show. Oh, my bad. They show examples on like bags and laptops and books and
that's
phones
awesome.
and everything. So
Yeah,
you
so you just
do
build your
whatever
own
you
little
want.
Tetris like Punisher dude or like thing that says Lootcrate on the back, which it's probably not what I'll put on the back of my laptop. But
Oh my god.
no way! Oh, I jumped. I moved too fast.
It's a mighty wallet, and it's The Simpsons. It looks like a Simpsons like Where's Waldo thing, but it's a mighty wallet.
Oh,
so there's
that's awesome.
like card slots here and in here, and this is where your cash goes. And there's 2 different sections for that.
It doesn't seem very durable.
They're mighty wallets though. They actually are pretty durable.
Really?
Yeah, like they're surprisingly durable.
That's cool.
They don't seem like it at first, but yeah, I've been told. I've never had one, but I've been told that they're quite durable.
Expands as
There's
you
also a like car hanger thing, which is the shield, Captain America's shield from the Avengers or from Captain America.
Oh, it's made of Tyvek.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
actually really durable.
Yeah, that's the stuff that remote control Bluetooth airplane that we. Oh, it's like waterproof and stuff.
Yeah. It doesn't feel. It feels like paper, but it's
Yeah, they have a picture of it after 1 year of use, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's not exactly high res.
no.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is just like a whoop. This is like a car holder thing that you put on your mirror and it smells like vanilla. It's actually kind of cool. Captain America car thing. What?
We talked to. Oh, okay. I think this
So
is
they
just.
have their-
yeah,
yeah.
this is the little commemorative. So this month's theme is a very special one as we celebrate anniversaries. They've got an interview with Stan Lee. There you go. What else we got? Yeah, a bunch of really neat stuff in here. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I didn't know that. They have deals on other stuff.
Oh, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So, like, there's a Simpsons house Lego thing. Like, it's related to the stuff that's in here. So there's a Batarang
What is
full-scale
that?
replica. So
That
that's
is super cool.
It's like a $2,000 value thing, and then they sell it for $750 or something.
Oh.
I guess.
That's probably why it's cool. It's super expensive.
So, yeah. Did I tell you about the time that I was tempted to order a full-size Han Solo in carbonite, like official licensed thing? It was like 5,000 British pounds, and I would have had to spend my entire life savings on it at the time. I didn't do it.
That's amazing. Come on in, you ugly little spud, and then warning: ghost busting in progress. It's a door tag thing. They have a like little advertisement for Crunchyroll.
Oh yeah, okay.
We rep Crunchyroll too.
Yeah, we do. So unfortunately, sorry, Loot Crate, we're not going to do your Crunchyroll link. Use our Crunchyroll link.
Right. Lootcrate December 2014 anniversary. I know quite a few people that actually collect all their pins and
some
stuff.
more stuff in
People
here?
like that. Yeah.
Huh.
It's like an actual full comic book from DC Comics. And then I think there's a poster in the back. I can't really tell, but I think there is.
Open it.
They give you a candy cane,
Oh, ours broke.
so that totally makes sense. Well, it was together. I think
Did
it's
you
broke.
break it?
Yeah, I think so.
Way to go.
I know. Horrible. Now, I think...
Oh no, that's just the card to make it.
Oh, well, that's cool too then.
Well, now I opened it for nothing. Way to go, jackass.
You lost thousands of dollars in value.
Well, I
Maybe
only
not.
I only paid $13.37 for it. Worst, like worst case scenario, if everything else in the crate was free. And then this unfolds to it looks like a bat cave.
Yes, I think so. Well, does it... Do you actually unfold it, or do you just...
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, you do. You unfold it, and then there's like a way to set it up. So our little Joker Batman dude stands in there.
Cool.
All right, so thanks, Loot Crate, guys. It's offer code Linus to save 10%, which, because it's so cheap, is not actually a lot of money, but you might as well save your $1.37 or 33, or whatever that works out to.
Fantastic.
It's like I'm not selling the use of the offer code too hard here.
But it's a good service, and considering it's monthly, that'll add up too.
I think you only save on the first one, so yeah, it is what it is. All right, so what else we got here? I think there were a bunch of other topics that we promised to cover. Oh, yeah. Work rumored to have begun on a new Nintendo console.
Right. I want to preface this by saying we've had rumors that were exactly this, like, multiple times over the last, 2 years.
So this was posted by Master Disaster on the forum, and the original article here is from Escapist Magazine. So Nintendo confirms work is underway on new consoles. However, that doesn't really tell us a whole lot about, because work is basically underway on new consoles by the time something actually gets released.
Work has been underway on new consoles since they merged their office buildings like a long time ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
They merged and they were like, yep, we're going to be working on a new console which brings together our mobile and console divisions better. They've been saying that since then. There's definitely been work underway this whole time.
Yeah, and like the kinds of hints that are being provided are not very useful.
No.
From early on, I wanted Mario to be that character in the digital world, so that with each digital evolution, he was there to usher in the next era. I think that maybe when we release the next hardware system, you can look forward to seeing Mario take on a new role or in a new game.
Cool, man.
No information was given ever.
Like, I love Nintendo, but like, guys.
Mario will take on a new and unexpected role.
God.
Even more unexpected than being in space or driving go-karts.
Or shooting people with water guns.
Or playing tennis.
Or
drawing things.
Whatever the hell
with
he's
that
done.
horrible square mouse.
That thing was terrible.
Mario Paint.
Yeah, he's been in so many different games. Fighting off ghosts with Luigi. Maybe he helps this time.
Oh, I guess I forgot to post the link to that in the chat here.
Right.
Not that that link contains any useful information whatsoever.
Nope.
There we go. Boop, boop, boop.
Okay, so then
Tesla Roadster version 3.0.
Now, there was, I don't know much about this. I know it has a lot more distance, so I think they can drive it over 400 miles, and they're going to be demonstrating this between San Francisco and Los Angeles in early 2015, so that's pretty cool. That's a lot. What are you doing? What is that?
I'm dancing. I don't know. I'm excited.
Cool. That's a lot of distance.
I'm excited not because of this, but because of all this stuff happening will make my Tesla really good when I can finally afford one.
Yep. So he's probably specifically talking about when they release the like way cheaper ones. Because Teslas aren't being resold. Because they're not really failing.
So my new plan, because my original plan, as you know, was to buy a Model S when people were getting rid of them,
but they're not.
But they don't, and it's kind of like certain brands of cars. Like last time I was car shopping, which was admittedly a while ago, there was like no used Suzukis, like nothing. You couldn't find a used Suzuki because I was looking for specifically an SX4, and nothing. I was like, okay. I mean, I know it's really new, but you know, even stuff like the Rabbit, we managed to find a Rabbit. That was back when we bought my wife's car.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty new, and you could find a couple of used ones, and we got a good deal on it.
Yeah.
But my plan has actually changed because I realized that I only put about 35 kilometers a day on my car right now. So my car has 191,000 kilometers on it, which means that I will be able to drive it for like another 5 years.
Well, that might line up well with the timing of the cheaper Tesla.
Maybe. So maybe I will be able to hold out for a cheaper Tesla. Otherwise, I'll probably just wait for like a more budget-oriented brand to have an electric car that doesn't totally suck.
Yeah.
And then I'll go that route.
Not that they're more budget-oriented, but people are starting to partner with Tesla for use of the supercharging stations.
Right.
And if they start doing that, then they'll probably be partnering with them in more technology realms. Like I think it was BMW is partnering up with them quite closely.
Yep.
And not only is that going to help Tesla by having it so that hopefully BMW is going to contribute and build more supercharging stations.
Yep.
And there'll just be more in general. But that'll help consumers because there will be more supercharging stations.
More infrastructure will be a very good thing.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, then the next 5 years might be okay. Because looking at what's happening to gas prices, looking at what's happening in Russia right now, I haven't looked at it in a couple days, but
not better.
The ruble fell like 25% in a day or something ludicrous amount like
Apparently,
that.
people have been going to different places like IKEA and stuff and just mass buying things while their money's.
I heard that people are like stockpiling electronics while their money is still worth something. Apple pulled out of the country. And this was rumored, I think, when I was reading about it, but I think the rumor is that other major electronics brands are thinking of pulling out as well, because you got to consider that these brands have their costs in, let's say, USD, for example, and they're being paid by people in rubles. So what are they supposed to do? Just jack up their prices 2x from day to day. Well, hold on a minute. What about what they sold yesterday? Now all of a sudden, instead of making, let's say 20% or 30% margin on an item they sold, maybe they just lost 10% on that item they sold by the time they're able to convert the currency. What if they can't even find anyone to convert currency for them? You guys would be surprised how hard it is to convert foreign currency. We have an affiliate code with Amazon UK. Getting a Great Britain pound converted here is difficult. And a euro, too.
I still have Swedish krona because I can't get it moved.
Well, those are impossible.
I can't get it moved.
I would have thought euro would be easy. Last time I was in at my bank cashing an Amazon check, the teller told me that they weren't going to accept euros anymore starting January 1st. It's like, what do you mean you're not going to accept euros anymore? It's one of the most important currencies in the world.
That's one of the ways that PayPal is super good.
Yeah.
It'll just move whatever the heck you want at any time. It's fantastic. Super good.
So yeah, Tesla Roadster. So predicted 40 to 50% improvement on range between the original Roadster and the Roadster 3.0, which is pretty cool. Appointments for upgrading Roadsters will be taken this spring once the new battery pack finishes safety validation.
They're also having improvements of like drag coefficients for aerodynamics and stuff like that. So there's kind of improvements all over the board. So that's good.
This is exciting. So overclockers.co.uk, this was posted originally by Notional on the forum, has exclusively begun selling the first, I'm posting it, the first Freesync compatible monitor. So this is an Iiyama ProLite B2888UHSU-B. I really wish, why is it ASUS is the only one that figured this out? ROG Swift. If you have an important model, call it something that we can freaking remember, because I don't remember PG287Q. That's what it's actually, or 278Q. Yeah, see, I didn't even get it right. I'm not going to remember that. It's ROG Swift. That's how people, why do we have to explain this stuff? Anyway.
You do remember some crazy model names, though.
Yeah, some. But usually it's when it means something. ASUS actually does a relatively good job of that. Yeah. And if I buy one or if I use one every day, then I'm much more likely to remember it. But yeah, so this is exciting. It's still a 4K TN panel, like Acer's G-Sync 4K. So it's exciting in that it's got adaptive refresh, but it's a little bit less exciting in that it's a TN panel. So some people are not going to be that excited. And you know what? I was really blown away by how much of a difference the Acer IPS monitor that I checked out recently, how much of a difference it made to have that better contrast when I'm trying to use it without scaling. Now, it was 4 inches bigger diagonally, which is a lot bigger than the TN1, and the TN1 looks great in games, which is where it's supposed to look great. And the finer image means less anti-aliasing, and all of these things are good, but IPS is a really nice thing to have. But this one's TN, 1 millisecond response time, 60 hertz refresh rate, and the way it's going to work is you buy it now, and it's not going to have adaptive sync, even though the driver's ready. So the AMD Omega driver is already equipped with adaptive sync, or FreeSync, excuse me. FreeSync leverages adaptive sync in the basic spec. So it has FreeSync capability, but this monitor, you will actually have to send it in for a hardware upgrade, or a firmware upgrade, excuse me, in order to unlock the capability. So there you go. It'll be a free upgrade, but yeah. So
the chat said it's not free, but I haven't said anything. I haven't seen anything about that.
Okay,
so.
Maybe you have to pay shipping. That would be a guess.
Okay,
well, either way, it's not super expensive at £390, so that's pretty darn good. And then maybe you will have to pay, because I know that AMD was saying that FreeSync would be about $100 adder over regular DisplayPort 1.3 monitors.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily recommend buying into FreeSync yet. FreeSync might be God's gift to gamers. Seriously. I believe in G-Sync. I think it's awesome.
But there's very few people that have seen it kind of in action.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has seen finished FreeSync yet.
Finished? No, I don't think so, yeah.
So let's just wait, because if it was as simple as when the GPU is ready to push out a frame, it lets the monitor know and refreshes, NVIDIA wouldn't have had to rev their G-Sync technology in between demoing it at that press event and actually releasing finalized products. They had to completely revise some important stuff about G-Sync in order to make it work to their satisfaction. So until we've actually seen it, actually working, and AMD claims that actually... Oh, I don't know if I should say this. I don't know if this is public knowledge.
Maybe just move on.
Hold on. I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out if I can say it.
Okay. I asked Linus Forsell if he'd watch the show live today, and he said he sure will, and then he hasn't responded to me yet.
AMD Freesync, and another keyword that I don't want to tell you guys about because it might give away too much. This is awkward. Why don't we do a Twitter Blitz? We had a couple plans for Twitter Blitzes.
Yes,
what do you want
we did. We can have the first one. Crap. Where are they? Best Christmas present. Top. They're all over.
Yeah, tell us what you got.
Boxing Day / Black Friday shopping. Do you do it?
Yeah. So I went out today because I had to get some number 32 rubber bands of all things.
Yeah.
For a super fun video that's going to be coming out this weekend, and I kind of marveled as I was on my way out the door. And that I had forgotten that today in Canada is Boxing Day, which is the equivalent of Black Friday down in the States. And Luke was like, yo, dog, I wouldn't go to Walmart. I heard it's like crazy there. And I was like, why would it be? Oh, it has been so long since I have gone Black Friday or Boxing Day shopping in person that I had kind of forgotten. The last time I did it for real, was when I kind of realized that I didn't care about it. And the reason was that one of the deals I got was great. I bought a 19-inch 1280 by 1024 LCD. It was the last one out of the 15 available at NCIX in Burnaby. And I got it for like some smoking crazy deal, like $100 less than what you would typically pay for something like that. And I really needed one anyway. But I waited out in the cold for it for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. But the other things that I bought that day, one of them made me realize that this wasn't for me. I bought a CD writer that was advertised for $5 after mail-in rebate.
Yeah.
And that was actually the one mail-in rebate that I ever didn't get. I'm mostly an advocate for mail-in rebates because they've always worked for me. And if my purchase can be subsidized by someone else being lazy, yeah.
Then that works for you.
Then that's great because a lot of people just don't get it. They're like, oh, well, I don't want a $20 mail-in rebate. I want $20 off at the till. Well, it doesn't work that way. You can't give $20 off at the till because that's $20. A mail-in rebate, a $20 mail-in rebate is probably more like $6.
Because not that many people will do it.
Because not that many people will do it. That's how this works. That's why some people get $20 off. Because if it wasn't $20, it would have been $6. So get that through your head. It doesn't work that way. Anyway, so it was a $25 item with like a $20 rebate. So it was a $5 CD writer back at a time when that mattered. Like that's how long ago this was.
Yeah.
And I never got the rebate. And then I actually never ended up using that CD writer until several years later. And it turned out to be DOA. I had never tested it.
Oh, no.
And I kind of went, you know what? For the money that I saved on that Boxing Day versus the money that I wasted on stuff I didn't end up actually needing, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe some people have more discipline and it works better for them, but it's not for me. So we want to hear your guys' Boxing Day stories. Bought a Sigma lens.
We're more meaning Blade of Grass is a new moderator on the forum, but we're more meaning like in store.
Oh, Cassidy. Yeah, I had some. I was gonna say someone, but I guess we know exactly who it is now. Cassidy walked up to me at the Walmart and I think said the same thing to me twice, like something like, "Oh, I hope you had a great Christmas." And then we talked for a little bit, and then I was walking away, and he's like, "Oh, I hope you had a great Christmas." Wait, I already said that. Sorry, this is awkward. Don't worry, dude.
Someone saw me at Guildford Mall when I was like frantically buying Christmas presents, and I had to race out to my car because I had to go meet someone. So I'm like fast walking past him. He's like, "Hey, it's like," and I'm like, "Hi," and just keep walking. Later on, I was like, that was probably rude. But
really,
so I tweeted out, and I was like, I didn't mean to do that.
I think honestly, the most difficult ones for me are when the person treats it like it's no big deal. Because I have a really bad memory, and I've met a lot of people over the years, and I'm really bad with faces. So I was on my way into my favorite Vietnamese restaurant, and someone in a group of people was just like, "Hey, Linus," and I was like. And I'm just like, I'm carrying 2 children in my arms. Like, I just like, hey.
So you never know if it's like that dude from high school that you don't remember, or I hear you.
Or a viewer, I just had no idea. And they were like totally casual. They were just like, hey, Linus. And then they like looked the other way and kept on walking. Like,
I would rather you just said hi instead of walking past me and tweet me later, which happens a lot. And something that bugs me, just because like I never know how I did in that situation, is when we go through a full interaction. And then they're like, okay, bye, Slick. And I'm like, you knew me, what? Like, that's not fair.
You know what?
I wasn't paying attention.
I think the funniest tweet that I've ever seen about viewer or fan interaction was actually from PewDiePie. I follow him just because I'm sort of idly curious about how you become the #1 internet sensation in the entire world. Mm-hmm. And the tweet was like really hilarious. He's like, yeah, so I was shopping and someone's walking up to me from kind of far off, and I kind of like get my hair ready. I'm sure it's a fan. And the guy walks up and he's like, hey, you took my shopping cart.
That's fantastic.
It's like, because, yeah, I'd imagine by the time you've got, like, umpteen bazillion followers, like, you probably get approached in public a lot. Like, It happens to me once in a while, but he would be an order of magnitude or 2 more than me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it probably happens a lot.
Yep.
Apparently, I've had stuff in my hair the whole WAN show. Yeah, it's peanut butter.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have some. I think it's on this side or something.
Yeah. I had a whole bunch that I didn't notice right in here.
Maybe it's on this side?
I don't know if they can see.
Yeah, there's jelly.
Yeah.
Still good. Yeah. Oh, crap. Apparently someone saw me in Dollarama, too. I was shopping everywhere today trying to find those rubber bands. All right. Are we getting any tweets here?
Not a ton. I noticed that actually.
All right, let's see if people... Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Very nice.
Wow.
That's terrible, though, because... Oh, my goodness! We never talked about this. The gift from the forum.
Oh, yes. Because that was supposed to show up for last one show, so it's been a week.
Yeah, so this was a Christmas present from the... From some of our favorite members on the forum who apparently hate us because they want us to die.
Yeah.
So they sent us all this freaking candy. And you know what? I have had so much of it that I have noticeably put on padding on my stomach. Noticeably. Like, to my hands can feel the padding I put on. I had probably about an entire ginormous thing of Jelly Bellies.
No.
Yeah. And I took 2 of these M&Ms home, and Yvonne only gave away 1 of them. So you can bet that I'm going to eat a bunch of those. I managed to get away from the Skittles scot-free, but I think Taryn has probably eaten like 3 bags of M&Ms and an entire bag of Skittles himself.
He's trying to put on weight, though, so...
Yeah, so you guys just about killed us. Thank you for the heartwarming Christmas present, though. But maybe next time something a little healthier, please. Okay, so back to Twitter Blitz. Yeah. I don't know how you can buy chocolate after the holiday. I have eaten so much stuff.
I even have more dinners to go to. I'm not even done yet.
Oh, apparently there have been some password leaks. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Got the Black Pebble Steel on Friday for $150. That's a great deal. That is a fantastic deal. I paid
awesome.
$2.99 for mine, and I don't regret it for a second.
Yeah, that's super legit.
Nice. GX60 laptop. 65-inch TV. Yeah, TVs. Black Friday and
You know what
Boxing
really
Day.
bugs me, though, is I don't want a smart TV.
Just buy a smart TV and use it dumbly.
I know, but then their features are annoying. Like, that's the argument that people have for Windows 8. It's just like, oh yeah, just don't use those things. I'm like, yeah, but they're there, and they'll pop up every once in a while and drive me crazy.
Right.
Like, I don't want a smart TV.
Bought a new 850 Pro. Nice choice. Solid SSD.
Chromecast is going to be way better anyways.
Wancho. Love more in-depth on the whole room water cooling. Yes, we are definitely going to give you guys more details. The final video will be a complete rundown of everything, like looking at the finished project. Mm-hmm. So, all right, let's see if we've got anything else here. There are no things like that in Poland, says Adam K. That's a bummer, because it can be a really great time to get some shopping. Yeah. Yes, Tony, mission accomplished. paint for a DIY green screen wall. Wow, these are a lot of things that I wouldn't have really thought about shopping for.
I definitely didn't expect the paint thing. That's awesome.
Isaac apparently got a Keep On Digging shirt.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Yay.
This is interesting. Do I consider myself a Mac guy now, since you saw the other side of the fence? Well, next week, I'll actually be releasing part 3, which is kind of the critical part of the iSwitched experience. But I've been using the iMac for over a month now. And
put this into perspective. You said you were going to use Google Glass for how long? 1 month?
Yeah.
And
I took it off within a day because it's garbage. Yeah. So I've managed to stick with it. I'm still using it as my daily driver. And I'll go into this in much more detail when I do my full video, but I do use Parallels for some things. I do cheat. I use Windows applications for a few things.
But I think that's like how it should be used.
I think that's how people use Mac.
Yeah.
It's funny. I think my mom is actually a bigger Mac hater than me. Her whole school is Apple, and I was there for Christmas, and I was like, whose iPad is this? She's like, mine. I'm like, when did you get an iPad? She's like, it's for work. And she's just like, it's like, and she just goes off on like a tirade, right? And she's just like, it's like they don't get it. Every time something doesn't work because it's a Mac, they're like perplexed that it wouldn't work because it's a Mac. And she's just like, I can do this on my PC. And every time they're surprised freshly that it doesn't work because it's a Mac. I'm just like, whoa, Mom.
Whoa.
So yeah, we've actually got a really cool build log coming that was a collaborative thing with WD. We wanted this to happen during the holiday season, but it looks like it's going to be hopefully next week, where we actually built a PC for a local school. Speaking of my mom, who works at a school, we built a PC for the resource center / it also gets used for some video creation and stuff like that. So we're building a PC with WD's help for a local school, and we're going to be actually donating that, speaking of PCs for schools instead of Macs. So that's going to be pretty cool. The whole theme of it, maybe should we just give away the peanut butter jelly thing? Let's give it away.
Could, yeah.
Okay, so the theme of it is what goes well together, and WD's whole thing is like, yes, an SSD is great for your OS drive, but what could be better than SSD plus hard drive? And it's kind of like a peanut butter and jelly type thing, because I think we can all agree that one alone is not the best tool for the job. You should be running an SSD for your OS and your key applications and a hard drive for your overflow and storage.
You'll have to figure out how that resulted in us having peanut butter and jelly in our hair once that video comes out.
So don't miss that one. Don't miss that build log.
Ridiculous.
I'd love to hear from you guys how you are enjoying the build log format in general. It's a little bit different from our build guides, and I'll straw pull this up here. How have you been enjoying? Do we have anything else to cover today?
Not majorly, I don't think. Again, a lot of stuff wasn't really going that crazy because it was Christmas. Quite a few companies weren't even really doing anything this week.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
I had a lot of people ask if we were going to do a WAN show today, because it's a stat. It's not a stat.
It's not a stat.
And even
I
if
think
it was,
might be
I'd
a
be
stat
here.
in Ontario, and I think it's a stat for federal employees everywhere. But it's not a stat for everyone.
Yeah. It's funny, we are one of our newer employees was surprised to find out that there were only 2 days off in the holiday season. It's like, really?
Welcome to content schedules.
Yeah, well, welcome to like, not a cushy corporate job. Sorry, man. You know what's funny though is our recent transition from the corporate job that like paid better. I was talking to him about this the other day. He says this is like way better.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a way better. Like
Yeah.
he would take the pay cut every day to work for a smaller company where he has creative freedom and like
More say and ability to just do things.
can be excited about his job every day. He's just like, yeah, the amount of money that people spend to make themselves happy when they work in a job that they hate that pays better, he feels like for him just cancels out because he doesn't need to spend a bunch of money to make himself happy anymore. And he's just like, 8+ hours a day, I'm going to be at work. And so if you also sleep 6 to 7 hours a day, that means literally half of your time
And then there's time that goes into getting to work and getting ready for work and leaving work and winding down from work. So it's like the majority of your day is working.
Yeah. So it's like, I was like, yeah, that is a really interesting perspective. I mean, it's part of the reason that I do this. I didn't want to work with tools. So I was like, I'll just make my own team with no tools.
Except for the hardware bin.
So people are mostly enjoying the whole build log format. So that's cool.
I like it. I like filming it. I like watching it. I've watched every build log after we've done them. Like the mineral oil build logs, I watched every single one of those.
Yeah.
I like it personally, so I'm happy they like it. I find it fun to build it that way.
Yeah.
Because we just get to kind of do whatever, and that's probably why it's fun to watch, too.
It's a lot more fun to teamwork, like building a computer, than it is to build one by yourself.
It really is.
And I think that's, like...
That's how it is in real life, too.
Yeah, that's true, even if you're not logging it or whatever else.
Most of the computers that I've built... Like, if I would build a computer for a friend, say I was back in high school, that's where I built most of my computers for friends, or in university or whatever.
Yeah.
I would just get them to come over. And I'd build it with them. And just try to like teach them how to do it while we were going. And I'd be like, all right, so you have to do this. And I'd get them to do it and try to guide them through it and stuff. And it was honestly pretty cool. And then a fairly basic computer is fairly basic to build. So by the end of it, they were able to feel fairly confident about building computers. And then a lot of them from that are now interested in computers and building their own and stuff. And it's cool. I like building computers with people. So
I think we'll close out the show with... just sort of one more recap thing. I wanted to thank you guys for making this such an incredible year, and not just an incredible year overall, but even just lately, your support's been even more than ever before. I mean, this year we hit a bunch of amazing milestones. We broke the 1 million subscriber threshold. So my understanding is that our gold plaque is actually in the mail.
Oh, cool.
Or should be at some point in the near future here. We also reached new all-time highs for views in a single day. We just crushed the old record when we were releasing mineral oil. And I think we released a mineral oil and a whole room water cooling video back to back. So we just completely destroyed
That's gonna be hard to beat.
The previous record we set at CES 2013 when we released like 20 videos in one day.
Yeah.
So that was while releasing only one video a day. We also, in December, are going to destroy our previous all-time high for monthly views. So our previous best was actually last month at 11.89 million. And then this month we are tracking something like 13.5 million in 1 month, making us one of the largest tech channels on the entire YouTube. So, that's we want to thank you guys so much for your support there as well. Another big one is Tech Quickie. Like, I don't know how many of you are subscribed to Tech Quickie, but I'm really proud of what we're doing over there. Yeah. I think it's great content. I think you guys agree. It's tracking close to 1,000 new subscribers a day, around 100,000 views a day. I mean, our secondary channel is as big as a lot of other YouTubers' primary channels at this point, and it's only because of you guys that we can do stuff like that. And then Tech Quickie as well is going to absolutely crush its previous best, which was set last month, 2.35 million views, and we are tracking over 3 million for the last 30 days. Nice. So you guys are just making this work for us. I feel like we're also working really hard at it, but this kind of stuff doesn't happen without you guys tuning in and watching all the videos. I mean, WAN Show has gone from 50,000 views per archive to over 100,000 this year.
Yeah.
Linus Tech Tips videos in general have gone. I mean, it's not just the overall viewership of the archived content. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, just here, sort of having a look at my dashboard here, it wasn't that long ago that something with 200,000 views was an exception, and something with, 100,000 views was great. That was earlier this year. Nowadays, I mean, you look at everything we release, 150,000, 170,000, 255,000, 221,000. This is all stuff from like a week ago.
Yeah.
You guys are just, you're blowing us away with your support, and we really appreciate it. And here's to a fantastic 2015. And also, I guess I can confirm when we're taking possession of the new office space. So that'll be at the end of February.
There'll be a lot of work that needs to be done to it.
Yep.
But yeah.
Don't expect us to do a tour immediately, but we're already in contact with someone who's helping us design the office space. We do have to do some renovations. So it'll take a while for us to actually move in, but yeah, we're really excited. I think we're moving in a great direction, and you guys are really helping us get there. So with all that touchy-feely stuff out of the way, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys again next week in the new year.
Bye. Outro. Oh, jeez.
I got this. Some things never change. Oh right, sponsors. CES, Phantom Blast, Lynda.com, Lootcrate.